TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donation. Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, an alarming rise in newly confirmed coronavirus cases throughout the state of Israel may force Jerusalem authorities to reimpose a nationwide closure. The International Atomic Energy Agency's Board of Governors adopted a draft resolution over the weekend demanding of Iran to comply with its nuclear-related commitments under the Non-Proliferation Treaty. The Chargée the affairs of the European Union's delegation to Lebanon, Koch de Biolley, visits the headquarters of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon in a show of Brussels' support for the international peacekeeping mandate along the border with Israel. An alarming rise in newly confirmed coronavirus cases throughout the state of Israel may force authorities in Jerusalem to reimpose a nationwide closure. Speaking at the start of Jerusalem's weekly cabinet meeting, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made mention of a series of forecasts that were presented to him over the weekend, all of which provided harsh estimates for the near future.
בסוף השבוע קיימתי התייעצויות בעניין העלייה התלולה בתחלואה של הקורונה. הבוקר ביקשתי לכנס ישיבה של כל המנכ"לים של המשרדים הרלוונטיים, גם של השלטון המקומי כמובן, עם ראש המל"ל וגם עם מומחים שונים שנתנו את הערכות שלהם. הם הראו לי תחזיות שונות של גופים שונים, והתחזיות הללו כולן הן קשות. אנחנו חייבים לשטח את העקומה עכשיו.
In light of the grim forecast, the Israeli leader highlighted the inevitable causality to the public's complacent behavior.
אני רוצה להגיד שאם לא נשנה באופן מיידי את התנהגותנו בעניין חבישת המסכות ושמירה על המרחק, אנחנו נביא על עצמנו, בניגוד לרצוננו, את השבת הסגרים. אף אחד מאיתנו אינו רוצה בזה. ולכן אני מבקש מכם, אזרחי ישראל, לחבוש מסכות ולשמור על המרחק.
Netanyahu concluded his remarks vis-à-vis the corona contagion spread by reiterating that unless a vaccine is found, the public must conduct itself in a reasonable manner in the context of the so-called corona routine. Subsequently, Premier Netanyahu seized the opportunity to praise the International Atomic Energy Agency after its Board of Governors adopted a resolution calling on the Islamic Republic of Iran to fully cooperate with the nuclear watchdog in light of the Ayatollah regime's refusal to allow access to suspected locations and its lack of clarification regarding the agency's relevant questions.
איראן ממשיכה לשקר לקהילה הבינלאומית כדי להגיע לנשק גרעיני. היום גם הסוכנות הבינלאומית לאנרגיה אטומית, גם סבא מבינה זאת. הדוח שלה בסוף השבוע מדבר בעד עצמו. מה שטענו במשך שנים, היום מבינים גם במוסדות הללו.
Joining in the Prime Minister's praising remarks, alternate Premier and Defense Minister Benny Gantz emphasized the important reminder of Iran's destabilizing activities throughout the Middle East despite its domestic woes.
סוגיה של הכרת מועצת הנגידים בהפרות האיראניות היא מאוד מאוד חשובה ומזכירה לעולם ולנו על פי הסדר הזה שאיראן היא קודם כל בעיה עולמית, אחר כך היא גם בעיה אזורית שמערערת את היציבות בכל רחבי המזרח התיכון קרוב כרחוק, וכמובן שהיא גם אתגר למדינת ישראל. ההשפעה שלה בלבנון, בסיני, בעזה, מזכירה לנו שבסופו של דבר גם אתגרי הביטחון שכרגע נראים פחות בולטים נוכח האתגר של הקורונה לא באמת נעלמו, והם ישובו ויאתגרו אותנו.
It is important to explain that the IAEA's Board of Governors adopted the referred to resolution submitted by France, Germany, and the United Kingdom by a vote of 25-2 with 7 abstentions. The resolution follows reports in March and June by the IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi describing the agency's efforts and interactions with Iran to clarify information relating to the correctness and completeness of Iran's declarations under its Safeguards Agreement and additional protocol, including denial of access to 2 locations specified by the IAEA and continued lack of clarification regarding agency questions related to possible undeclared nuclear material and nuclear-related activities in Iran.
We must cooperate. And this has been part of my conversations with the Iranian authorities at higher levels. I believe that, and I regret that at this point we have this disagreement, and I will continue to exercise all possible efforts to overcome those. Cooperation is needed. We have a large dossier in front of us. We have to continue working together to provide all the clarifications that are expected.
The adopted resolution stressed the importance of states complying fully with their safeguards obligations and facilitating access as required when notified by the IAEA. Furthermore, it emphasized the essential and independent role of the IAEA in verifying Iran's compliance with its safeguards obligations to provide credible assurance of the exclusively peaceful nature of the country's nuclear program. Prior to the adoption of the European draft resolution, the Islamic Republic sought to pressure Berlin, London, and Paris, alongside the other IAEA member states, insisting that the agency's Board of Governors should not allow the enemies of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which is the technical term of the 2015 nuclear deal with Iran, to jeopardize Iran's supreme interests, whilst further stressing that the E3, in reference to Britain, France, and Germany, should not be an accessory after failing its own related duties. The statement by the Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif came after he concluded a trip to Moscow, where he held a meeting with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov.
Детально обсудили ситуацию вокруг совместного всеобъемлющего плана действий по урегулированию иранской ядерной программы. Отметили важность, несмотря на откровенно деструктивную линию Соединенных Штатов, сохранения этого соглашения, которое остается важным фактором поддержания международной безопасности.
Well, among others, the top Iranian diplomat insisted that an agreeable solution was possible in relation to IAEA demands for inspections of the 2 suspected sites of undeclared nuclear activities. Berlin's top diplomat Heiko Maas is seemingly unimpressed by Tehran's evasive actions and called on the Ayatollah regime to finally behave constructively. Nevertheless, the German foreign minister stressed, alongside his French counterpart Jean-Yves Le Drian, that the so-called E3 will persist with efforts to salvage the 2015 nuclear agreement with Iran in defiance of U.S. calls to activate a dispute mechanism that would allow for an immediate snapback of crippling international sanctions, including an extension of an embargo on conventional weapon sales to the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Wir sind nach wie vor der Auffassung, dass das Nuklearabkommen die beste Grundlage dafür ist, dass der Iran nicht in den Besitz von Atomwaffen kommt. Und deshalb werden wir die Streitschlichtung zwischen dem Iran und uns als den E3 fortsetzen. Wir wissen, dass das nicht einfach werden wird. Wir erwarten auch, dass der Iran sich endlich konstruktiv verhält und jetzt auch endlich zügig deeskaliert. Und das wollen wir heute mit dem britischen Kollegen besprechen.
In related news, Iran announced that its Navy had successfully fired a new locally made cruise missile during war games in the northern Indian Ocean near the entrance to the Gulf of Oman, which lies next to the strategic Strait of Hormuz. According to the country's semi-official Tasnim news agency, during the exercises, short-range and long-range coast-to-sea and sea-to-sea missiles were successfully fired from the coast and from decks of ships, hitting their targets with great precision. It further claimed that the new generation cruise missiles has a range of up to 280 kilometers, which is equal to approximately 175 miles. It is important to note, however, that Western military analysts insist that the Islamic Republic often exaggerates its weapons capabilities. Turning now to the southern Lebanese border with Israel, where the Chargée d'Affaires of the European Union's delegation to Lebanon, Koch de Biolley, visited the headquarters of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, during which she highlighted the support of Brussels for the UN peacekeeping force, which consists primarily of European troops.
The European Union stands by UNIFIL in its efforts to assist in diffusing tensions between Lebanon and Israel and move towards a permanent ceasefire. This can only happen through continued dialogue and confidence building. UNIFIL remains essential here. We continue to support all aspects of UNIFIL's work. Its deployment alongside the Lebanese armed forces is crucial to maintaining stability in Lebanon and along the Lebanese shores.
In response to the voice of confidence, UNIFIL head of mission and force commander Major General Stefano Del Sol sought to reassure the visiting European delegation that the troops from EU member states are playing an extremely significant role.
Please be assured that the peacekeepers from your countries, accounting for a third of the mission, more than 10,000 troops between ground and maritime forces, have been playing an extremely significant role in maintaining the cessation of hostilities, de-escalating tensions in the UNIFIL air operations, and preserving stability along the Blue Line. The work of your troops has reinforced the mission's strong operational tempo, which is demonstrated by the fact that the area has enjoyed an unprecedented 14 years of calm.
Thank you for watching us. As part of TV7's Global Prayer Initiative, I would like to encourage you today to join myself and the team here in Jerusalem to pray for the salvation and peace of Cyprus, alongside our ongoing prayers, of course, for the peace of Jerusalem, the salvation of Israel, as well as for all those who are impacted by the corona contagion worldwide. I'm Jonathan Hassan. Have an Erev Tov and Shavua Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.